Hi Debbie, nice
Hi.
to see you.
Good to be here.
Just wanted to talk to you about the Lent Course,
Yes.
which is your course that you've envisaged, and we're going over stuff that you really want to share with us. Just tell me a little bit more about the course.
Okay, so it's entitled Living in God's Generous Love. We're going to be looking at that over 5 weeks, and it is really something of the journey I've been on, because I realise it wasn't a place I was living. I knew I didn't believe God was generous, and that wasn't reflected in my life. So it is something of the journey that I have been on, and I want to share that because I think it can make a difference to the way that we live our lives, and I know it has for me. It's been, it's changed so much in how I live out my life.
I'd really like to learn more about that, but before we go on to that, just give me a little bit of an outline of what the course will actually involve.
Okay, so the first week we're going to start with Psalm 63, because that's the psalm we're looking at as a church this year. And do we desire to hunger after God? I know I didn't want to hunger after God. I'm not sure I really understood who God was, and was he generous? Was he trustworthy? Was I welcome? Those were all things that I have discovered and have changed in my life. So we'll look at, why is our picture of God so important? Why do we start there? And then we'll take a look through our identity and the things that actually we hold on to, which are not helpful, things that we need to die to. And this is what Lent is about, isn't it? It's about going into the desert as Jesus did, wrestling not only with God but with ourselves and some of the things that we face. So we'll look at that. It'll be practical. I hope it'll be fun. And we're going to end with something to say yes to, which is God's love. What is God's love? What does it look like in our lives? How can we become more like Jesus?
It's obviously something that you're really passionate about. What does that look like in your life?
I think it's been an understanding that it is possible to change, that it's not just something we pay lip service to when we read it in the Bible, when Jesus says, love your enemies. He meant it. And actually, if we're going to be like Jesus, it just doesn't happen automatically. We don't become Christians and hey presto, all our bad habits just disappear. So I think it's hopefully having honest conversation, and I've been able to do that in community, to say, okay, what are the things that God is inviting me to die to? How do I cooperate with God? I don't just have to try to do this, because trying harder to become more like Jesus doesn't work.
So if trying doesn't work, what are we meant to do?
Yeah, that's been a huge discovery, that actually trying leads to frustration, in the same way that actually someone who sets out to run a marathon doesn't pitch up and say, right, okay, off I go. They won't finish it. But actually, if you train to do something, it is possible. Yes, the effort is required, but actually the effort isn't a striving, it's a cooperating with God. So we'll look at things like that, because that's been really powerful in my life. Yes, re-examining the wrong picture, sometimes that we don't know that we hold about God, because we all have these images that are unhelpful, and looking at how we're cooperating with the Holy Spirit in our lives, training in community, which is really important, leads to change in our lives.
Sounds really exciting, Debbie. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be good.
Thank you.